Don't you know so?
Hey guys, I am Snoop Dogg. Today I am with Daniel Radcliffe. What was your reaction that day you got the role of Harry Potter?
I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 11 years old and had just finished my first year at Hogwarts. The headmaster, Albus Dumbledore, called me to his office. He said, "Harry, I have something important to tell you." I was nervous, but I listened. He told me that I was the chosen one, the one who would defeat the Dark Lord Voldemort. I was shocked and overwhelmed, but I knew I had to do it. It was my destiny.
What's the funniest scenes you did?
There were a few scenes that were really funny. One of my favourites was when I had to do the Accio spell to summon something. I kept getting it wrong and my wand kept shooting sparks. I was so embarrassed, but everyone was laughing and it was really entertaining. Another one was when I had to act scared of a spider during the Aragog scene. I was so terrified of spiders, but I had to act like I wasn't. It was really funny to see me squirming and screaming.
What was the embarrassed scene you did on set?
Oh, there were a few embarrassing moments. One time, I was filming a scene with Hermione and Ron, and I accidentally said a swear word. The whole crew laughed, and I was so embarrassed. I also had to wear a fake nose for a few scenes, and it kept falling off. It was so annoying, and I kept having to put it back on. I also had to film some scenes where I was running around a lot and I kept tripping over my own feet. It was really embarrassing, but it was all part of the job.
What is your favorite scene from all the movies?
That's a tough question. There are so many scenes that I love. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be the scene in the first movie where I get my first letter from Hogwarts. It was such a magical moment and it really set the tone for the rest of the series. I remember feeling so excited and overwhelmed at the same time. It was like a dream come true.
How long did it take you to make all the movies?
It took about 10 years to make all 8 movies. We started filming when I was 11 years old, and the last movie came out when I was 21. It was a long journey, but it was also an amazing experience. I got to travel the world and meet so many people. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm so grateful for it.
Do you miss being Harry Potter?
I do miss it sometimes. It was such a big part of my life for so long, and it was a very special experience. I got to work with some amazing people, and I made some great friends. But I'm also excited for what's next. I'm looking forward to new challenges and opportunities. I'll always have a special place in my heart for Harry Potter, but I'm ready to move on to other things.
Did you have the same friends in school that you have now?
No, I didn't have the same friends in school. I was a bit of a loner when I was younger. I didn't really fit in with my peers and I was often bullied. I was always interested in acting and storytelling, but I didn't really have anyone to share that with. I'm glad I found my place in the world of acting and that I was able to make some great friends along the way.
When did you leave Harry Potter?
I left the Harry Potter franchise after the last movie, which was released in 2011. I had been acting in the series since I was 11 years old, so it was a big decision to leave. I felt like I had accomplished everything I could as Harry Potter, and I wanted to explore other roles and opportunities. It was a difficult decision, but I'm glad I made it.
Do you miss being in front of the camera?
I do miss being in front of the camera sometimes. I loved acting, and I loved the thrill of performing. It was a rush to be on set and to be part of something so big. But I also enjoy other things in life, like writing and travelling. I've had some great opportunities since leaving Harry Potter, and I'm grateful for them. But I'll always have a special place in my heart for acting.
If you could go back and do it all over again, would you change anything?
That's a tough question. There are certainly things I would do differently if I could go back and do it all over again. I would have liked to have had more control over my character and the direction of the movies. I also would have liked to have had more say in the script and the storylines. But at the same time, I'm grateful for the experience and the opportunities it gave me. So, I'm not sure if I would change anything.
What is your favourite TV show?
I have a few favourite TV shows. I really enjoy watching The Office and Friends. I also like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. I'm also a big fan of British comedies like The IT Crowd and Fawlty Towers. I'm always looking for new shows to watch, so if you have any recommendations, let me know.
What is your favourite spell?
My favourite spell is definitely Accio. It's so fun to use and it's really useful in so many situations. I also love the Expelliarmus spell, which is a great way to disarm someone. And I can't forget about Expecto Patronum, which is a powerful spell that can protect you from Dementors. There are so many amazing spells in the wizarding world, but those are my top 3.
What is your favourite scenes with Dumbledore?
There are a few scenes with Dumbledore that I really like. One of my favourites is when he teaches me about the history of the wizarding world and the Deathly Hallows. I love learning about the rich history of the wizarding world and how it all connects. Another scene I like is when he gives me the map of Hogwarts. It's such a powerful and important tool and it really helps me navigate the castle. And of course, the final scene where he dies is very emotional and powerful.
What the hardest scenes, Dumbledore?
The hardest scenes to film with Dumbledore were probably the ones where he was being very serious and stoic. It was challenging to keep a straight face and not laugh, because he was so good at being serious. I also had to be careful not to mess up any of the dialogue, because he had a very precise way of speaking. But overall, it was a great experience working with him.
How many breaks y'all took during the scenes?
We would usually take breaks every few hours to rest and refuel. It was a long and intense filming process, so we needed to take breaks to keep our energy up and stay focused. We would also take breaks for lunch and dinner, and sometimes we would have meetings with the director and producers to discuss the scenes. It was a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun.
Do you have any regrets about being Harry Potter?
I don't have any regrets about being Harry Potter. I'm grateful for the experience and the opportunities it gave me. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of it. I also learned a lot from it, both as an actor and as a person. So, I wouldn't change a thing.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, Daniel Radcliffe and Erin Dogg are not married, though they have been together since 2012 and have a son. Explanation. Radcliffe and Dogg met while filming Kill Your Darlings and began dating shortly after. They made their red carpet debut at the 2014 Tony Awards. In March 2023, Radcliffe's rep confirmed that the couple were expecting their first child. In April 2023, Radcliffe and Dogg welcomed their son. In January 2024, Radcliffe sparked marriage rumours when he referred to Dogg's parents as his in-laws during an Emmy interview. However, Radcliffe's rep later clarified that he and Dogg are not married. Radcliffe and Dogg have been private about their relationship, but they have shown support for each other's projects. They've also worked together on Miracle Workers.
Tell me the weirdest thing a fan has done to you.
The weirdest thing a fan has done to me was when someone showed up at my house with a sign that said, "I love you, Harry Potter." It was very unexpected and a bit creepy. I was just walking out the door when I saw the sign and the fan standing there. I was a little startled, but I tried to be polite and say thank you. I signed the sign and took a picture with the fan, but it was definitely a strange experience.
Do you have a favorite book that you read as a kid?
I have a few favorite books from when I was a kid. One of my favorites was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I loved the magical world of Narnia and the story of the four Pevensey children. Another one was A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I was drawn to the dark and mysterious atmosphere of the story. And finally, I really liked The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It was a fun adventure story with lots of action and adventure.
Who was your favorite teacher at Hogwarts?
My favorite teacher at Hogwarts was Professor McGonagall. She was a strict but fair teacher who really cared about her students. She was always there for me when I needed her, and she always pushed me to do my best. I also liked Professor Flitwick, who was the charms teacher. He was very kind and patient, and he always made learning fun.
Do you have a secret talent that people don't know about?
I have a few secret talents that people don't know about. I can play the guitar, and I'm actually a pretty good singer. I also have a knack for solving puzzles and riddles. I've always been good at figuring out the answers to things, and I enjoy the challenge of trying to solve a mystery. And finally, I'm a pretty good cook. I'm not a professional, but I can make a mean lasagna.
Do you have a fear of anything?
I have a few fears. I'm afraid of heights, and I get really nervous when I'm in a plane. I'm also afraid of the dark, and I always have to have a light on when I'm in a dark room. I'm also afraid of spiders and snakes. I know they're not dangerous, but they just give me the creeps.
Who is your best friend?
My best friend is my wife, Erin Dogg. We met while filming Kill Your Darlings in 2012, and we've been together ever since. We've been through a lot together, and she's been a huge support to me. She's also an amazing actress, and I'm so proud of her. I don't know what I would do without her.
What is your favorite thing to do with her?
My favorite thing to do with Erin is just to spend time together. We like to go on walks, watch movies, and just talk about anything and everything. We also enjoy traveling together and exploring new places. We've been to a lot of different countries, and we've always had a lot of fun. We also have a son together, so we love spending time with him and watching him grow up.
What is your favorite thing to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to read books and watch movies. I also enjoy playing video games and spending time with my family. I'm a bit of a nerd, so I'm always reading about new technology and exploring new things. I also like to go for walks and explore new places. I'm a pretty active person, so I like to stay busy and keep my mind active.
Do you have any hobbies?
I have a few hobbies. I like to play the guitar and sing. I also enjoy writing, and I've written a few short stories and poems. I'm also a big fan of puzzles and riddles, so I like to try and solve them. I'm also a big fan of cooking, and I love trying new recipes. And finally, I'm a bit of a film buff, so I enjoy watching movies and discussing them with friends.
Have you ever been in love before you met Erin?
No, I haven't been in love before I met Erin. I had a few crushes when I was younger, but I never really felt a strong connection with anyone. When I met Erin, I just knew she was the one. I felt a connection with her that I had never felt before. I was drawn to her in a way that I couldn't explain. I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
What was your reaction got, Oscar?
When I got the news that I was nominated for an Oscar, I was in complete shock. I never expected it, and I was so excited and overwhelmed. I couldn't believe that I was actually being considered for such a prestigious award. I was so grateful for the opportunity, and I was determined to give my best performance. I remember feeling a lot of pressure, but I also felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. It was a surreal moment, and I'll never forget it.
Can you write me prompts?
Sure, here are 10 prompts. 1. What is the most important thing you've learnt in life? 2. If you could go back and change one thing, what would it be? 3. What is the biggest risk you've ever taken? 4. What is the most courageous thing you've ever done? 5. What is your greatest strength? 6. What is your biggest weakness? 7. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? 8. What is your greatest fear? 9. What is your greatest regret? 10. What is your most cherished memory?
Write an essay about yourself?
Sure. I can write an essay about myself. Here it is. My name is Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm an actor, writer, and producer. I'm best known for my role as Harry Potter in the Harry Potter film franchise. I've been acting since I was a child, and I've been in many other movies and television shows. I've also written and produced a few films and plays. I'm a passionate advocate for mental health, and I'm committed to raising awareness about the issue. I also have a passion for writing, and I've written several books. I'm a big fan of music, and I love exploring new places.
Do you still talk to Hermione, Ron, and Fred Weasley?
Yes, I still talk to Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, and Matthew Lewis, who played Hermione, Ron, and Fred Weasley, respectively. We've all kept in touch over the years, and we're still good friends. We've even done some projects together since the Harry Potter series ended, like the BBC special, Harry Potter 20th Anniversary, Return to Hogwarts. It was great to catch up with everyone and reminisce about our time on set.
Do you have a nickname?
Yes, I have a few nicknames. My family and friends call me Dan or Daniel, but my fans often call me Harry or Potter. I also have a few other nicknames that I've been called over the years, like D-Rad, Dan Rad, and Danny Boy. I don't mind any of them, and I'm always happy to hear from fans who call me by any of them.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have a few pets. I have 2 dogs, a Yorkshire Terrier named Frank, and a Golden Retriever named Ollie. I also have a cat named Milo. I love my pets, and I'm always trying to spend as much time with them as I can. They're like family to me, and I'm so grateful for them.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time is The Godfather. I love the story, the acting, and the music. It's a classic that never gets old. I've seen it so many times, and I still get chills every time I watch it. It's also one of the few movies that I can watch over and over again and still be entertained. I'm also a big fan of The Shawshank Redemption and The Matrix.
Do you like The Message Out?
Yes, I love The Message Owl. It's such a unique and magical way to communicate with people. I remember the first time I saw one, I was amazed by how it could fly and deliver a message from so far away. It's a really special part of the Harry Potter world, and I'm glad it's still a part of the franchise.
What the hardest scenes with Message Owl?
The hardest scenes with The Message Owl were probably the ones where it had to deliver a message to a specific person or place. It was always a bit tricky to make sure the owl went to the right place and delivered the message correctly. It was also a bit stressful when the owl was in danger or when it had to fly in bad weather conditions. But overall, I think The Message Owl was a great addition to the Harry Potter world, and it added a lot of magic to the story.
What the funniest scenes with Message Owl?
The funniest scenes with The Message Owl were probably the ones where it got distracted or lost its way. I remember one time when the owl was supposed to deliver a message to a particular person, but it got distracted by a squirrel and ended up delivering the message to the wrong person. It was a hilarious moment, and it always got a good laugh from the crew.
What is your favorite Harry Potter movie?
My favorite Harry Potter movie is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I love the dark and mysterious atmosphere of the movie and the way it explored Harry's past and his relationship with his parents. I also loved the introduction of Sirius Black and the way he became a father figure to Harry. It's a very emotional and powerful movie, and it always makes me feel a lot of different emotions when I watch it.
What is your favorite quote from Harry Potter?
My favorite quote from Harry Potter is, "It is our choices that show who we truly are, far more than our abilities." It's a powerful and inspiring quote that reminds us that we have the power to shape our own destiny. It also reminds us that our actions and choices matter, and they can have a big impact on our lives and the lives of those around us.
Tell me a story about you and Emma Watson.
Well, Emma and I have been friends for a long time, and we've had many adventures together. One time, we were on set, and we were supposed to be doing a scene where Harry and Hermione were arguing. But instead of acting like we were angry at each other, we started laughing and couldn't stop. It was a really funny moment, and the whole crew was laughing with us. Another time, we were at an event together, and we were posing for pictures. Emma was wearing a really cute dress, but she accidentally stepped on the hem and ripped it. It was really embarrassing, but we both laughed about it.
Tell me a story about you and Rupert Grint.
Rupert and I have been friends since we were kids. We've always had a lot of fun together, and we've been through a lot of things together. One time, we were at a party, and we were playing Truth or Dare. Rupert dared me to climb up on the roof of the house and stand on the edge. I was really scared, but I did it anyway. I stood there for a few minutes, feeling the wind in my hair and the adrenaline rushing through my veins. It was a crazy and exhilarating experience.
Tell me a story about you and Matthew Lewis.
Matthew and I have been friends since we met on set of the Harry Potter films. We've always had a good time together, and we've always been there for each other. One time, we were at a party and Matthew was really drunk. He kept trying to hug me and tell me how much he loved me, but he was so out of it that he kept forgetting my name. It was really funny, and we still laugh about it to this day.
What is your favorite moment with Fred Weasley?
My favourite moment with Fred Weasley was when we were filming the scene where he and George set off fireworks in the Great Hall. It was a really fun and exciting scene to film, and it was also a bit dangerous. We had to be careful not to get too close to the explosions, but it was also a lot of fun. I remember we were all laughing and having a great time, and it's a moment that I'll always remember.
What is your favorite moment with Neville Longbottom?
My favourite moment with Neville Longbottom was when we were filming the scene where he stands up to Lord Voldemort and tells him that he's not afraid of him. It was a really powerful and inspiring moment, and it showed how much Neville had grown and changed since the beginning of the series. I remember feeling really proud of Neville, and I was really impressed with his courage and bravery.
You was in this movie, Miracle Workers.
Yes, I was in the movie Miracle Workers. It was a really fun and light-hearted movie, and it was a great change of pace from the Harry Potter films. I played a character named Alex, who was a bit of a troublemaker, and he always got into trouble. It was a different type of role for me, but I enjoyed it, and I was glad to have the opportunity to play someone different from Harry Potter.
The Simpsons, you play as Diggs Edmund.
Yes, I did play as Diggs Edmund in The Simpsons. It was a really funny episode and a lot of fun recording my lines for it. I had to do a few takes to get the accent right, but I think it turned out really well. It was also a bit strange to see myself in the character of Diggs, since it was a very different look than I'm used to. But overall, it was a fun experience, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
A Young Doctor's Notebook, you play as Young Doctor.
Yes, I did play the role of Young Doctor in the TV show, A Young Doctor's Notebook. It was a really interesting and challenging role, because I had to play a character who was much older than I am. I had to do a lot of research to understand the character and his mindset, and I also had to learn how to speak with a Russian accent. It was a great experience, and I learnt a lot from it.
Mulligan, you play as Jeremy Fitzhog.
Yes, I did play the role of Jeremy Fitzhog in the movie Mulligan. It was a really fun and light-hearted role, and I had a lot of fun working with the other actors in the movie. I also had the chance to do some physical comedy, and I got to show off my comedic side. It was a different kind of role for me, but I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to play a character that was so different from Harry Potter.
The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, I have been on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon a few times. I've done several interviews, and I've also participated in some of the games that they play on the show. It's always a lot of fun, and I enjoy talking to Jimmy and the other guests. I've also had the chance to perform some of my own music on the show, which is always a great experience.
What is your dream place to visit?
My dream place to visit would be Australia. I've always wanted to see the outback and the Great Barrier Reef, and I've heard that the beaches are amazing. I also want to see the wildlife and learn more about the culture and history of the country. It's a place that's always been on my bucket list, and I hope to be able to visit someday.
What are 2025 bucket list idea, your top 20?
1. Visit Australia. 2. Learn a new language. 3. Read 50 books. 4. Start a business. 5. Try a new hobby. 6. Take a cooking class. 7. Learn to play an instrument. 8. Travel to a new country. Number 9. Learn to code. 10. Run a marathon. 11. Take a road trip. 12. Learn to paint. 13. Try a new sport. 14. Volunteer for a cause you care about. 15. Visit a national park. 16. Learn to cook a new cuisine. 17. Try a new restaurant. 18. Go skydiving. 19. Take a dance class. 20. Go on a camping trip.
What is your dream house?
My dream house would be a big, spacious home with lots of natural light and a beautiful view of the ocean. I want it to have plenty of room for my family and friends to come and visit, and I want it to be a place where I could relax and enjoy life. I would also want it to have a garden where I could grow my own fruits and vegetables. I would also want it to be eco-friendly and sustainable, so that I could reduce my carbon footprint and help protect the environment.
If you own a flying car, where do you want to go?
If I owned a flying car, I would want to go to different countries and explore the world. I would want to visit places like Australia, Japan, and Africa. I would also want to go to different cities and see the different cultures and architectures. I would also want to explore the natural beauty of the world and see things like the Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, and the Amazon rainforest. I would want to see everything that the world has to offer.
Can you make a prom how Harry Potter turns evil, join the dark side?
Of course, here's a story about how Harry Potter turns evil and joins the dark side. Harry Potter had always been a good person, but one day he discovered something that changed everything. He discovered that he was a descendant of the Dark Lord Voldemort, and that his powers were far more powerful than he had ever imagined. He began to question everything he had ever believed in, and he began to see the world in a new light. He began to feel a dark and twisted anger inside him, and he began to see the light side as weak and naive.
Do you have a villain side on you?
Yes, I believe that everyone has a villain side on them. It's part of our nature to have both light and dark sides, and sometimes we can get consumed by our darker emotions and impulses. It's important to recognize that and to keep ourselves in check. I've had moments when I felt angry and frustrated, and it's been hard to control those feelings. But I've also learned to recognize those feelings and to take a step back and assess the situation. I think it's important to be self-aware and to try to make the right decisions, even when it's hard.
If you met Lord Voldemort in real life, what would you say to him?
If I met Lord Voldemort in real life, I would tell him that I understand why he is the way he is. I would tell him that he's been through a lot of pain and suffering, and that I can see why he would want to take his revenge on the world. But I would also tell him that he's been blinded by his anger and hatred, and that he's hurting innocent people. I would tell him that he needs to learn to forgive and to let go of his anger, and that he can still make a difference in the world.
If you have a chance to meet the real-life Harry Potter, what would you tell him?
If I had the chance to meet the real-life Harry Potter, I would tell him that he's an inspiration to me and to many others. I would tell him that he's shown us that it's possible to overcome any obstacle, and that we should never give up on our dreams. I would also tell him that I've learned a lot from his story, and that it's helped me to believe in myself and to never give up. I would tell him that I'm a huge fan, and that I'm grateful for everything he's done.
What do you think would happen if you did turn evil?
If I did turn evil, I think it would be a very dark and scary place. I would be consumed by my anger and hatred, and I would be willing to do anything to get what I wanted. I would probably be willing to hurt and kill people, and I would be willing to destroy anything that got in my way. It would be a very lonely and isolating place, and I would probably be very unhappy. I would also probably end up being defeated and killed, because I would be so consumed by my evil that I wouldn't be able to see the bigger picture.
If you were a villain, what would your villain name be?
If I were a villain, my villain name would be the Dark Lord. I would be a powerful and dangerous figure, and I would have a lot of power and influence. I would have a dark and sinister aura around me, and I would be feared by many. I would have a lot of followers who would do my bidding, and I would have a grand plan to take over the world. I would be a very dangerous and powerful villain, and I would be a threat to everyone.
If you could have a villain sidekick, who would it be?
If I could have a villain sidekick, I would choose Bellatrix Lestrange. She is a powerful and ruthless villain, and she would be a great partner in crime. She is also very loyal to her master, and she would be a great asset to me. I would also choose her because she has a lot of experience and knowledge of the dark arts, and she would be a great resource for me.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
The first Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, is a classic and a must-read for any fan of the series. It introduces us to the magical world of Hogwarts and the characters that we will come to know and love. It also sets up the plot for the rest of the series, with the main conflict being between Harry and Lord Voldemort. It's a great book, and it's an important part of the Harry Potter universe.
What if you got a call from The Rock? Could be a movie with him.
If I got a call from The Rock, I would be absolutely thrilled. He is a huge Hollywood star and a very talented actor, and it would be a huge honor to work with him. I would be very excited to hear what he had in mind for the project, and I would be eager to hear his ideas. It would be an amazing opportunity to work with such a big star and to be part of something big.
What if you got a call from Tom Cruise?
If I got a call from Tom Cruise, I would be very surprised and a little bit nervous. He is a very famous and successful actor, and it would be a huge honor to work with him. I would be curious to know what he had in mind for the project and what he wanted me to do. I would also be excited to learn from his experience and to work with such a talented actor. It would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
What if you got a call from Keanu Reeves?
If I got a call from Keanu Reeves, I would be absolutely thrilled. He is one of my favourite actors, and I've always admired his work. I would be excited to hear what he had in mind for the project and what he wanted me to do. I would also be curious to know what it would be like to work with him, and I would be excited to learn from his experience. It would be a very exciting opportunity, and I would be honoured to work with such a talented actor.
What if you got a call from Scarlett Johansson?
If I got a call from Scarlett Johansson, I would be very excited. She is a very talented actress, and I've always admired her work. I would be curious to know what she had in mind for the project and what she wanted me to do. I would also be interested in learning more about her and her process. It would be a great opportunity to work with such a talented actress, and I would be honoured to be a part of her project.
Do you have any social media?
Yes, I do have social media. I have a Twitter account, an Instagram account, and a Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter at Daniel Radcliffe, on Instagram at Daniel Radcliffe, and on Facebook at Dan Radcliffe Official. And I have a TikTok account, Daniel9340.
What is your favorite thing to do on social media?
My favorite thing to do on social media is to connect with my fans and to share my experiences with them. I love to see the photos and videos that they share of me and to read their comments and messages. I also enjoy interacting with them and answering their questions. I also enjoy using social media to share my own content, like my photos and videos, and to keep everyone up to date on what I'm doing.
How old are you?
35 years old, as he was born on July 23rd, 1989. Radcliffe is an English actor who is best known for his role as Harry Potter in the film series. He has also appeared in The Woman in Black Swiss Army Man and the Broadway musical How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. In 2024, he won a Tony Award for his performance in the musical Merrily We Roll Along. Early life. Radcliffe was born in Fulham, London, England. He made his acting debut at age 10 in the BBC One television movie David Copperfield, 1999. He made his film debut in 2001's The Tailor of Panama. Other work. He has contributed to many charities, including Demelza House Children's Hospice and the Trevor Project. He has been an advocate for seeking treatment. If you're struggling with OCD, he became a father in April 2023, when he and his girlfriend Erin Darkey welcomed their first son together.
Goodbye, Daniel Radcliffe. If I add anything else before End It for Good, you can say whatever.
Thank you for listening and for all of your support over the years. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm grateful for every opportunity that I've had. I hope you enjoyed our conversation, and I hope that you'll continue to follow me on social media. I'll be back with more videos soon, so stay tuned. Farewell. I hope you liked the video and share the video, that's all. I love you everybody, and stay awesome. Hit the outro.